Comrades, I request Comrade J.D. Sharma, who is the Senior Vice President of AIBOC, President of IOB Officers Federation, Board of Director in Indian Overseas Bank, who was also the Chairman of the committee formed by AIBOC to plan this public sector campaign, and we met thrice, and the campaign was launched based on the recommendations of his committee. I request him to felicitate this conference.
Distinguished leaders and guests sitting on the dais, the guests, invitees, the leaders of movement, the delegates and participants. Good morning to all of you. At the outset, I congratulate the Tamil Nadu State Unit of All India Bank Officers Confederation under the leadership of Comrade Franco, Comrade Sekharan, and till few days back Comrade Vijay Senan, who have taken a lot of pains to organize this conference, mobilize the people, arranging Kala Jatha, to create awareness about the benefits of public sector for the people of the country in a growing economy. Comrade Franco has been steering this campaign. This was all decided in our committee. We met in Canara Bank Officers Association office for I think 3 times, and the program was chalked out. So after conducting this kind of program in some parts of Tamil Nadu, the focus has now shifted to the state capital, one of the biggest metros of the country, that is Chennai. When we talk of saving public sector, we need to recollect as to what were the ills of private sector, what were the implications of privatizing the public sector companies in past. You had a very vivid illustration about railways. We as outsiders, we as customers of railways hardly realize as to who is operating the trains, who is operating the maintenance, construction, services, unless we get a comrade who gave such a beautiful insight into railways being privatized stage by stage. Every budget they bring some operations to be privatized. Similarly, I recall then Videsh Sanchar Nigam, a government company, 100% government owned company, was privatized. It was sold to Tatas, and immediately after selling to what impact it has on the Videsh Sanchar Nigam Limited. It's already a private company. Because it has become a private company, government can do nothing. And then the services it gives to the consumer will be costly. This is what the impact is. The consumer pays for it. Consumer pays for ills of privatization. Take the example of airline sector. Air India and Indian Airlines were 2 private companies. They nationalized the companies. Then slowly they opened up the sector. They allowed private airlines to come in the name of we are providing competition, we are providing level playing field. And one of those new companies entering the market was Kingfisher's Airlines. Now what did government do ultimately to the public? in the name of providing competition. Now, this Kingfisher company owes 7,300 crores, 7,300 crores to public sector banks. Whose money is it? It's public money. Now, by opening up the sector, government has caused a loss of 7,300 crore by one competitor's entry alone. This is the impact of privatizing the sector. All other airlines, I think with the exception of Indigo, are incurring loss, but still they are going on expanding their operations. From where do they get this money to sustain the loss? Whether promoters are bringing in money? No. They go to banks and keep borrowing, evergreening, and they continue to expand their operations at cost of public of the country. Come back to Air India. All remunerative routes of Air India, international routes, have been slowly withdrawn from Air India and allocated to private airlines, to Indigo, to Jet Airways. I remember a route from Kabul to Amritsar, Moscow to Amritsar was very remunerative route. Lot of Punjabis are in those countries and they were traveling often. One fine morning, the ministry withdrew Air India flight from that route, telling that weather conditions are so bad, Air India doesn't have the anti-fog equipments to operate when there is fog in the airport. So we are allotting it to Jet Airways. For ages, Air India was not having equipment, as if fog in Amritsar is a new phenomenon. It was not there in those days. So when dense fog used to be there in earlier years, Air India was successfully operating. But now that private competitor has come, government want to oblige them, favor them, give them good business, route is allocated to Jet Airways. How Jet Airways will operate with same flight? Either they will operate without equipment or they will operate with equipment. If without equipment they can operate, why Air India was not allowed? If they need equipment, anti-fog equipment, why Air India was not allowed to purchase that? Can we afford to lose remunerative business to private sector one by one? Now, when we have the discussions on TV, the different channels bring program. Times Now brought a program on Kingfisher. Big people came and they were talking big against Kingfisher owner Vijay Mallya. How he is surviving happily in spite of looting the banking system by 7,300 crores. Because when loans were given, he refused to give his personal guarantee. So banks are not able to attach his personal assets because he is not a guarantor. Now who emboldened him not to give personal guarantee, being the owner of the airlines? It's government. Government is leading into corruption by example. Government is leading into loot of public sector assets by example. When Air India borrows money, government refuses to give guarantee, being the owner. Government owns Air India. When they want loan from banking system, government says, we will not give guarantee. Let company sustain. So if government as owner of Air India refuses to give guarantee for bank loans, how do we expect private owner of private airlines will give guarantee for loans of airlines? So government is making the system corrupt. Government is making the system hollow. Government is weakening the financial system of the country. And today we are telling why Vijay Mallya's assets cannot be attached. Government should have the conviction that I own this company, ensuring sustainability of this company, ensuring continuity of this company is my responsibility as the owner. Unless government does that in various sectors, Air India is just one sector to name. In many sectors, government is refusing to support the public sector. When things are not going well, they try to further weaken it. ONGC is such a strong company, a global conglomerate, ONGC. What is its share market, share price? What should be its share price? 200 and odd. Such rich company, such profit-making company, share price doesn't go up because of government statements, government policies. Private sector, you see, small companies, worth anything, their prices will be in thousands. Why public sector companies? Take any public sector organization, their share prices, if it is listed on a stock exchange, are quoted 1/3, 1/4 of its book value. The book value shows the strength of the company in terms of assets, net worth, but market does not recognize that because government is talking ill of its owned companies. If I have a performing child in my family, doing well, if I myself start criticizing him, condemning him, belittling his achievements, how the society will look at it? They will also have same picture. When his parents say he's a bad boy, he must be a bad boy, without looking into how good the boy is, what best contributions he is making to the country, to the society, to the family. So it's very important for government to recognize the value of public sector units. Unless they do that, we as trade union have to redouble our efforts to stay afloat, to remain in the market, to survive in system which is self-inflicting. The owner itself is inflicting. Owner itself wants to bite. Why? Because they have Adanis, they have Ambanis, they have this Airtel, Mittals. For them they are important. How they have killed the BSNL. I think BSNL leaders also should be here. Yeah. How it has killed the BSNL. They are allocating the spectrum where it is very paying to the private operators, foreign companies. And BSNL is left to operate in northeastern states, in rural areas where the income is less, revenue stream is less. Because they are least interested in BSNL, they are least interested in public assets of the country. They are interested in promoting the private interests. Take sector by sector, any sector you take banking. How they have opened up the industry. They have brought in private banks. They say we want to create competition and large number of players will create healthy competition. Yesterday you would have seen finance minister briefing the media after 2 days Gyan Sangam, the horrible exercise, telling that we need stronger banks, not numerically large number of banks. But if we need few banks, why do we give license to private banks? Why do we increase the number of players in the industry? Strengthen the existing banks. Recapitalize the banks, because you are looting the banks by dictating the dividend, by charging the income tax. The income tax law is so ununderstandable for the country that if a company is making loss, the bank is making loss, they charge income tax because they say certain items of your expenditure are not allowable as tax exempt. So balance sheet as per RBI format showing huge loss, but income tax will redraw the balance sheet and then they say that no, you have not incurred loss, you have earned so much of profit, pay me this much of tax, and they loot it. When banks object, they say that we know your claim is right, you are not liable to pay tax because you have incurred loss, but we have targets, we have to earn revenue to reduce the deficit, the fiscal deficit. So first you pay the tax, then file a return for claiming refund, and then we will refund. Whom are we befooling? The revenue department is under finance ministry, public sector banks are under finance ministry. From a loss-making bank, income tax revenue department, it takes tax. What for? It is income tax or loss tax. So this kind of inconsistencies are there within the government system itself. We need to fight against that. We need to save public sector. We need to strengthen public sector. Public sector has done hugely good to the people of the country. In every sector, They have uplifted the level of services to the common man. And common man is so happy getting honest, cheap service from public sector companies. We need to protect that. We need to maintain that. And in that direction, what Comrade Franco and Sekharan are doing is a great contribution. And I wish that this type of efforts to create awareness, to create social awareness, to create public awareness as to the value of public sector, as to the value of contributions of public sector for upliftment of overall society in the country is highlighted. With these few words, I once again congratulate State IBOC under leadership of Comrade Franco and Sekharan. All the best, all the success in all their endeavors. Thank you, friends. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Comrade J.D. Sharma. J.D. Sharma is encyclopedia. He knows so much of inputs he can share. He can speak for hours and he can give us so much of arguments, but due to paucity of time we will have to speed up. Now I request